OpenAI announced Dall-E 3 a few days ago, and if you've seen the pictures, you might be wondering, well, what's the big deal? Let me point out a handful of things that I'm most excited about and why Dall-E 3 is a big step forward in the industry. First and foremost, Dall-E 3 seems to have an incredible understanding of prompts. If you're familiar with any art generators, you'll know that it's difficult to create any complex picture with very specific details. Traditionally, any words near the front of the prompt are seen as the most important, and any words near the end can be ignored by the AI. In the case of Dall-E 3, it seems to have divided the prompt into different sections, all of equal importance, sort of like a formula, a math formula. Rather than focusing on the thing that's mentioned first, it takes everything into account. Like this example here that they gave us. This complex scene was prompted with quite a few different sentences. First, we have a mention of the young woman with the red hair, and she's haggling the grumpy old vendor, taking us to character 2, described as a tall, sophisticated man. He's got the suit, he's got the vest, he's got the bow tie, and the noteworthy mustache. Character 2 is drawn taller than character number 1. That is so important. You're even able to mention a third layer deep into the action a character's performing. In this case, conversing on a steampunk telephone. That level of detail in one prompt, well, just being honest, was quite unheard of until now. And then as far as the background goes, we have the sidewalks bustling with pedestrians enjoying the night life. Now that historically hasn't been too difficult to inject in your images, but by the looks of it, it's going to be easier now to specify what you want happening in the background as well as the foreground. Like mentioning a full moon and have Dall-E understand that you want a nighttime scene. That's one long complicated prompt illustrated near perfectly in this generation. Awesome stuff. Hopefully this level of control with our language will help keep consistent characters from scene to scene, given you maintain a similar description. And that would be really powerful. And the second big thing in my opinion is that right there. Dall-E 3 is designed to decline requests that ask for an image in the style of a living artist. And why is that a big deal? Well, it might not matter to you, but to me personally, it doesn't feel right to include an artist's name in my prompts. I tend to avoid it, even though admittedly the results are pretty cool. I'd much rather use artistic language to describe a certain style than use an artist's name as some sort of shortcut. But I know some people feel differently than me, so please leave your thoughts in the comments below. But speaking of describing an artist's style, Dall-E 3 is built natively on ChatGPT, and that means it will let you use GPT as a brainstorming partner and refiner of your prompts. Being able to speak to an art generator in natural language is such a game changer. Maybe the most important thing to come out of this announcement. Just ask ChatGPT what you want to see in anything from a simple sentence to a detailed paragraph. Now, in terms of accessibility, I don't think that can be overstated. Even though writing prompts isn't really that difficult and it's kind of a fun language to learn, this just opens the door to so much more potential creation. Maybe there are some concepts you just can't pin down with the correct words. Now you can ask for help from the most helpful assistant ever. So being able to in-paint or edit an image just by explaining what you want, that's some sort of science fiction right there. It sounds too good to be true. I can't wait to try it out myself. And basically what that means is that no picture, no image, no idea is unusable. If you can explain what you want, theoretically GPT can help you create it. I mentioned consistent characters before, but hopefully this leads to consistent styles being easier to maintain over multiple images. Again, if you're able to describe it, Dall-E 3 should be able to produce it for you. Like in that video, it's able to produce that same Larry character over multiple scenes, and in different styles. Even though children's illustrations has been the easiest way to keep consistency in the past, I hope GPT and Dall-E 3 are able to do that with more and more complex styles as it continues to grow. Like imagine being able to create a comic book just by explaining what you wanted. It does sound too good to be true. And maybe this is a good time to point out that all of this might simplify the process a little too much for some people, in the same way that art generators simplify the process too much for traditional artists. A lot of the fun in art comes from producing, and maybe having a farther and farther hands-off approach will diminish the fun and rewarding experience that comes from creating art. I am curious how this workflow will interrupt the lives of working artists. I really don't know how you feel about it, I really don't know how I feel about it, but I can't wait to try. Dall-E 3 is looking quite impressive, and maybe that's the most important thing of it all. Competition. OpenAI is competing in the art generator space, and that's the best thing that could happen for us, the consumers. If Dall-E is able to accomplish this and continue to improve over time, other companies will have to match that pursuit of progress. And again, that's the best thing that could happen for customers. Competition is the best thing to happen to a market. Everything will improve when companies have a reason to improve. Dall-E 3 will be available to ChatGPT Plus and enterprise customers customers in early October, you'll have full commercial ownership over everything you make. I can't wait to see what you all come up with and where this technology eventually goes. I'm grateful to share this journey with you. I hope you're doing well, take care, and I'll see you next time. Peace.